No, this is a red-shouldered hawk.
So the kids can see. You can see that. Excuse me.
So cute. This is a little one.
Gander, scooch down just a little, like the girl.
Just fly away. It's so cute. Look at, they just come up with some like that.
You scared her down.
The big one. The big one. The big one's in the back. So that's why it's part. Oh, it's a big one.
Oh, where are you gonna go? Where are you going?
I'm not happy.
You wanna hold this? Just hold. Actually, let go a second.
Yeah.
You can just gather his wings in, and just gently.
How come those two are not trying to fly with
Well, they're a little bit younger, and
they can't fly.
yeah, these are the two older ones, so we'll do these last. So these are red-shouldered hawks. They eat frogs and little snakes and lizards and small mice, and they nest in this canyon. There's a lot of them, about every third of a mile. There's another nest just around the corner down there. And these guys, what do you think, Joe, about 4?
4.5.
Yeah. They're going to be almost fully feathered in about 5.5 weeks and be able to, they'll look a lot like all these down feathers. See all this down up here? That'll disappear, and the head feathers come in, and all these feathers, all this little fluff on the tips of their feathers will disappear, and they'll look a lot like adults. They have a little different coloration, but they have the bars on their tail, and pretty soon in 5.5 to 6 weeks they'll be flying, and the adults will still feed them. You know, but after a while, they're going to have to figure out how to hunt on their own and go find their own territory.
Why don't you mean 5.5? Why do they?
No. From hatching to about 5.5 to 6 weeks.
So we got about 2 weeks left.
Yeah, maybe.
Or they got to be feeding themselves.
Well, no, they'll fly around. The adults will still feed them. You know, they'll catch food, and whether they're in the nest or on a branch, sometimes the adults come and drop food at the nest, and the chicks will fly back to the nest. But at some point, they have to figure it out on their own. They have to. The adults don't teach them how to hunt. This is very instinctual. They see something move and they take a chance at it, and maybe they get it or not. But at some point, they're just on their own. And a lot of these guys don't make it because these adults do this every year. They're going to raise 4 chicks this year, and they might live. Well, how old's the oldest red shoulder?
26 years old.
Yeah, in the wild. They do 4 chicks, 3 chicks, 2 chicks a year. By the time they die, they've churned out 50, 60, 70 other red shoulders to replace those 2. And there's got to be room for them. It just doesn't, it's a number. But it's hard for them to make it. I mean, just picture having to do every day on your own, catch a mouse, catch a lizard, make sure you eat, and if you don't eat one day, well, you're hungry and you're getting a little weaker, and then you got to catch something the next day, and you're not as up there and ready to go. And the next day might be tougher, so it's very hard for these guys to make it. But they're still around. Some of them do, and some of them do breed, as Joe said, for a long time. So I'm going to band one of these. Who's got one of my bands? Read the last number on your band, the last one.
Why are their mouths open?
Well, they're probably a little warm, but they do that kind of when they're a little stressed anyway.
Oh, when they're stressed. How big will they get?
They'll be adult sized, you know, from here to here. Who's got my pliers?
6 inches
7.
tall.
I've got.
Who's got 7? What last number on the band? What is it?
7, 6,
What's the last number? The last number.
2.
Nope.
No,
could be
7.
2. The last number?
7.
Let me see.
Got 7.
No, yours is a 9. It says 29. Looks a little like a 7.
Mine's a 6. Mine's a 7.
Yeah, I want the 6.
Oh.
Thank you.
Do you imprint them when you pick them up? Not at all.
No, these
What is
are.
that? Stick.
You get one out of the nest that's actually.
Why is it open?
No, nothing. I was
Trying to say who's the oldest?
yeah. These 2 are the oldest here. They're bigger and no question.
Yeah, how much older?
Oh, about 2 days apart. But that, when you fly in 5.5
Sorry.
weeks, 2 days is a lot of time for these guys. And the other thing about these bands, this is a size 6 band. I mean, have you ever put anything other than a six?
No.
These are not like people, you know, you have a size 5 shoe, you have a size 9, you have a size...
Yeah, Pete,
These all
make
have
sure
the
you
same
put 'em on,
size legs,
so the
you know?
number can be read.
Pardon?
Side up.
What?
Make sure the number can be read.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do the upside down stuff. I don't go for that.
So when are you going to see that tag again? I mean, when
Well,
does it happen?
most of the time it's if the bird's found dead. And in some of these birds, we'll put a color band, because the red shoulders in this canyon don't migrate. They're here all year long, and so they're resident birds. And we can put a color band that's you can see the color with binoculars or a spotting scope, and it might have a T or a 7 on it that you can see. And then you just go up the road and you see one perch and you look at it and say, okay, that's a bird that's been here for 5 years or something. You don't have to catch them or anything. But normally with these bands, it's found dead or found injured, and then you read it and it gets rehabbed and let go.
Do you think you banned all the birds that live in the canyon?
Oh, no way. No, not even close.
Just the ones who nest where you can see their nests.
Yeah, and there's a lot of territories that we know of. Like we know these guys are here. I mean, they've nested here a few years. I'm gonna. No, you hang on to that one.
Pete,
Yes.
tell you what, don't worry about the ages.
Okay.
Send me the females up first.
All right.
How can you tell male from female?
The females are in hawks and owls tend to be about a third larger than males. And something else you should see here too is that, see these talons? They're already getting long and very sharp. They always clench them when you handle them. So that's, you know, when they have 3 in the front and 1 in the back.
And those are their hunting tools.
Yeah, so see these are called primaries, these outside wing feathers. And Joe measures the 7th one. You're starting the outside is 10-9. Joe, these are beyond your scale. They're
Are you sure? I don't think they are, Pete.
From the shoulder to the tip of the wing?
Not the shoulder, Pete. The end of the feather.
Oh,
from the
okay.
blood out to the end of the tip of the feather.
Oh, okay.
Okay, from the blood to the tip of the feather, right.
Okay.
Yep. So you grab the wrist.
A voice from above.
See? 10, 9, 8, 7. You want just out of the sheath?
The sheath also, where the sheath's coming out of the blood.
Okay.
Yep.
What would you guess on this?
I'm gonna guess it's 100 or more, 110.
Okay.
Millimeters?
This one's 104.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
Good guess.
Hey, you know, I didn't bring paper because I know what the bands are going to be, so we don't have to write them down. But
Number 6 is 104.
104.
thank you.
How did you know that one was a female? Because she was a large?
Yeah. Just the, and this guy, you know, just the leg size on this guy is a little.
Was it an older male than the issue? Or the first one was a male?
No, he still looked a little smaller. Yeah. They're really, it's amazing how consistent they are in that sizing.
Do they have the same sex for chicks, or do they have an even 50?
It's
Like humans?
roll of the dice, yeah. There's no.
Number 7, let's see how long she is.
Isn't this male?
Dorothy moves.
The 100 on.
The head stays in the same place.
Yeah.
100 for 20.
Number 7 is 100.
7.
100?
Yeah.